Hey folks, it's the last day of June, the 30th, Wednesday, and let me yak at you for a little bit because I got a few things to share. How am I doing? I'm doing a little better. Thank you for your concern, people. Thank you very much. You know, I live a pretty simple life, so I did try to take care of myself, okay? So, I'll be fine, and for the folks who want to tell me what to do, like, just go to the ER and stuff, man, that just, y'all can just stop, okay? That's why I'm single, okay? Even if I don't make the right choices, at least they're mine. I really don't like people lording over me. I know it's concern, but I want you to understand. I learned a long time ago, you know, trust yourself. Even if other people may have a better idea, trust your own gut. That's what I do. So thank you. But I'll do what I decide to do, not what anyone else tells me to do. Yeah, I'm like that. I'll talk about a few things before I go today. So yesterday I uploaded a video of me walking around the exhibit, the Charlie Friedman's soundtracks for the present future. It's an installation of 60 plus guitars, mandolins, and acoustic basses suspended from the ceiling, each one fitted with a motorized picking device, and they're all connected to a central MIDI controller that plays them. So what I was doing yesterday was I was down there attempting another recording session of the pieces being played by the exhibit. I do plan to put it out on CD. We got most of them done yesterday, but even though the place was closed yesterday, there's construction, so there was still. I have to go down and finish it up. Another session, hopefully we'll get it done. But the piece that I shared with you yesterday is an adaptation of one of my songs. This is what you're hearing. Now, the name of that piece is In Mid-Chase for no particular reason, but that's an adaptation MIDI-wise to that exhibit. This is what the original recording sounds like. So as you can hear, the exhibit really changes the nature of the piece, which is fascinating. So I'm going to be releasing a CD of the pieces that were featured in the exhibit. I got to go down and do another session because listening back to what we did, I'd like to get some clean copies where there's not so much noise in the background. But I also plan to put on the CD the tracks, the pieces that they chose to include that were pre-written. I will also include on the CD those versions, like the one I just played for you. That'll be on the CD as well. So working on that. and hopefully I can get that out soon. I could possibly get that CD out as soon as August or September. Yesterday, I got the latest missive from Jazz in Britain, Don Rendell, Ian Carr Quintet, Blue Beginnings. I got to tell you, folks, this might be my favorite one so far. I kind of knew about this recording. This is a jewel of British jazz. This one starts off like a firecracker. They come out doing Blue Doom, gates open. We're here for business. We're here to play. And it's swinging, and it's fiery. It's fiery. I think this is probably this has got to be a high watermark for British jazz. What I'm trying to get at is the cats playing on here. Don Rendell and Ian Carr. They're playing the jazz idiom that was born in America, but they're not imitating. You're not listening to Don Rendell and saying, "Oh, he sounds like Sonny Rollins." "Oh, he sounds like..." No, he doesn't. But he's blowing on that level. Seriously, this is hot. And then if you don't already understand how good Ian Carr is already, well, again, he shows it here. These guys are blowing. The phrasing in jazz soloing, like when you're swinging, and the run of da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, I can't do it with my... That isn't easy. That's not why it's impressive. That's part of it. When you're able to unlock that stream of consciousness, I'll put it like that, into your instrument, where it's just like a river coming out of notes and feelings, really doesn't get much better. And both Don Rendell and Ian Carr do it on this album. Like Charlie Parker, like the greats, like Dizzy, like Diz. These guys are great. It's a wonderful album. It starts off with fire. It goes into Autumn Leaves, which to me kind of makes sense to, you want to keep an audience. So, you come up with fire, then you give them some beauty, and then you come back with the blues. Now, I get bored with the blues really quick, but I want to say that on this one, the Garrison, is it Garrison 64 or Shades of Blue? One of those, it's a blues, but the head is tight. The head is the opening statement is enjoyable. The soloing is good, but I do get bored with the blues, even with good players, because you know what's going to happen. I like it when people are able to take the blues and do something unexpected with it. That does happen. So again, a big thumbs up to Jazz in Britain, Matt Parker, you and the guys, John Thurlow. Something else I pulled to listen to, because the track came up on one of my mix CDs that I play sometimes going to sleep. Treelock Gertu, Crazy Saints, percussionist, drummer. Joe Zawinul is on here, and some others. This is just some really excellent, high-quality music that incorporates jazz and other elements that is just so good. I'm not sure how to say it, but it's, why don't you know more about people like Treelock Gertu? Okay? I mean, I'll do it. There's really no point in me telling you about records like Jethro Tull or Led Zeppelin. I have them, but everyone talks about those records. Is anybody else telling you about Treelock Gertu? I wish they would. Another CD I pulled I hadn't played in a long time. Pete Namlook, Namlook 7. Deceased now, but an electronics cat who some people thought for a while he was Klaus Schultz, and they made a record together, but to me, the sensibility of how he does his work and works with space and silence, it's like, now that ain't Klaus Schultz, that's another cat. These are apparently hard to find. I'll keep going. There's a new record that I'll be telling you about once the release date is present. I'm real impressed with it, I'll tell you that. One of you all who's watching me knows what I'm talking about. Okay, let's get into some more records that are sitting down here. Yuka Gustafsson, Toden Toistoa. This is the third solo album by the keyboardist from Wigwam. I recently acquired this. Major player who lost a lot of his audience once he came out as a Jehovah's Witness. I don't speak the language, so I don't have to be bothered. The music is beautiful. I like that cover. It's also fusiony, okay? Wonderful colors. In the story here, they talk about how he is openly influenced by Steve Winwood and Stevie Wonder. I really pick up on the Stevie Wonder influence. Soulful stuff. This is very, very good. Okay. I'll just go with what's sitting down here. Because Nobukazu Takamura. I don't know much about this person, but I bought this years ago based on the cover. It's a 12-inch single, so the price was low. This is glitch electronics and real good. I haven't seen any other records. I don't like to buy CDs. I like to buy vinyl. I've never seen any more albums or vinyl by this artist or right about them. I love this. It doesn't sound like anybody else, and it's not so glitchy that it's annoying. It's melodious as well. Just decided to pull this because I haven't played it in a long time, and it's one of those records that is collectible. The band was called the Damnation of Adam Blessing. I forget where they are from. This is their second album, and this is very good hard rock American hard rock. This is very good. This is a sort of album that, once again, had there been, I really do think that a lot of success has to do with promotion, money, and those things, because a lot of good records that are better than records that are considered classics, sit in the dust. This is one of them. I can't help but think that if they'd had money and promotion behind them proper, this would have become a big rock album back in the day. This came out like 1970. Very good. Okay, another recent acquisition. I've been after a copy of this forever. Not an original, because an original will run you $1,000, but this is one of those albums that the album is good. There are other reasons why it's collectible. Fuzzy Duck, English progressive band, very good. All the members were in other bands and went on to other notable bands. This is progressive, it's hard rocking, and it's the classic period where they're throwing together all kinds of influences, but doing it very well. It's very well played. Fuzzy Duck. Glad to get a copy of this. Another one I recently got, and I was happy with the price because I got it at a nice low price. I'm wanting it because I love this band, Gong, I See You, the last album that David Allen participated in before his death. 3-sider. One side is blank. This is good. The message and the vibe is intact. The playing on it is great. If you haven't heard this, I recommend it. Gong, I See You. Very happy to have met Mr. David Allen. Yes, we recognize each other as brothers. Tony Williams' Lifetime, Turn It Over. I had been after this album for a while. I have most of his albums. Emergency. This is one I hadn't had. Was able to get it. Tony Williams was completely ahead of the pack with what he was doing with this album. I even hear him touching on what would become punk rock. This was made in 1971. Very impressionistic as well as jazzy, but also there's a rock thing, but not like anything I had heard before. Tony Williams, not only an amazing jazz drummer, deceased, who changed the game, but he had these other ideas that doing stuff that nobody else was doing. I think it's because of Tony Williams that that Miles was able to cop John McLaughlin on guitar. He had Jack Bruce on bass on the album. It's great. The Small Faces, a band that on the surface you would think I have nothing in common with or nothing to relate to. It's not true at all. When Ichiku Park came on the radio, I swear I can remember the very first time I heard it, because it was that different, that good, the phasing, it was just perfect. It was just, it's all too beautiful. It was just fantastic. Now I like some of their other songs. And so this compilation, The Autumn Stone, this is very good. Real good. Really English. You know, I've never been to England, but like I said, because of growing up with the Beatles in my mental landscape, I really have a strong picture and a strong feeling of Britain. This is very British, and I love it. I love it. I love it. Anything else I haven't shown you? Yeah, one more. Mal Waldron, jazz pianist. The picture really tells you a lot about him. He didn't draw a lot of attention to himself. He was cool, very self-assured, and a giant of a musician. He wasn't unconcerned, seemingly, with accolades and all that crap. He just made great music, and his playing is really singular. This is a great album I was glad to get. Up Pop the Devil. Mal Waldron with Reggie Workman and Billy Higgins. Don't really get much better than this. I've already said that a couple times in the video. It's like that. This is very good stuff. Folks, I want to tell you that some of you people have not only left comments here, but you've actually sent me emails and messages on Facebook and also on Twitter of support and love. And I really feel it and appreciate it. I am the sort of person who, as friendly and as loving as I am, tend to keep people at an arm's distance length, you know, for the most part. Once you get to know me, I'm very huggy and touchy-feely. But I just want to explain that I am the sort of person who, it's like, you know, I'm kind of standoffish because I don't, people, you know, I'm not the kind that likes to be mothered and smothered, you know. So I just want to say I appreciate your love and support. I feel it. I really do. Thank you. Thank you very much.